And so I encourage anyone who wants to change the world and make the world a better place to get into politics. And I think one important thing that positive politics argues is that getting into politics does not just mean running for office, right? I think that's like the thing we have in our head is this like, oh, if I want to be in politics, I got to run for office and then I got to be public and I got to raise all this money and I could never do that, right? And I think a lot of people talk themselves out of politics in that way. And I want people to think about getting into politics as not just running for office, but getting into a specific issue, taking an issue like corruption and running with it for 1, 2, 3, 4 years and seeing how far you get, right? Taking an issue like if healthcare is a big issue for you, taking an issue like universal healthcare and running with it for 1, 2, 3, 4 years, you might get a lot further than even if you did 5 to 10 years at a healthcare startup. And so I tell all these stories, not just from mine and my family stories, but stories of famous and not famous people all around the country who have picked up an issue and run with it and changed politics and changed the world. One of my favorite stories is Gregory Watson was a 19-year-old student at the University of Texas about 30 years ago. And he writes a paper saying that U.S. congressmen should not get a pay raise until after the next election, so that they have to get reelected before they make more money, right? And he got a C on the paper, right? And he thought it wasn't fair. And so he was like, was actually a proposed amendment in like the 1800s, right? It was like the original founding fathers actually had this idea. They just never passed it. He's like, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to pass it. And so he spent 10 years, and by the time he was 29, like the 27th Amendment at the US Constitution is this. Like it's the Congressional Pay Amendment where you have to get reelected to get a pay raise. And he got it done. And actually the University of Texas like retroactively gave him an A+ on that class. They like changed his grade later. And so that stories like that, a bunch of stories like that are in the book, are just saying like anyone can just like pick up a specific issue and run with it. And like you can change the Constitution. If you really put your mind to it, you can do a lot of great things in politics.